Hey everybody, this is Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. I'm going to do another oddball review. If you know, a couple weeks ago I did one on the Honda Spree. I like Vespas, I actually love Vespas, but I like Hondas too. But do you know what the #1 selling two-wheel vehicle of all times? Do you know what it is? Well, I got one right here. The Honda Cub. Mostly sold as a 70cc, just basic utilitarian transport. Used throughout the world. It's not very popular here in North America. They've sold it here on and off. Ironically, they sell them brand new, 2021. I think it's now a 125. It's fuel injected, it's got ABS. No different than a modern Vespa with all those modern features. But here you have it. This is a late 70s model Cub. And the reason this one's special is we have a longtime customer, Duke. He came to our shop back on the old days. I think it was in the 30th Street days, came in with a Cub. He's had several of these over the years. Has some very clean stock versions of the scooter. I think he's got one from 1991, which was a year they sold it for like 1 year, Honda that is. And he's got a couple of these 70s ones that have this pesky 6-volt electrical system. He doesn't have a new one. He just likes the old school ones. We keep them serviced. But this one's kind of special. I found this one out in the desert. If you watch my video of riding to 50 out in the desert, I didn't know all about the desert. This thing was like, one of my friends abandoned it out in the desert and used it as like lawn art. And there's actually a pair of them. There's a blue one, which is this one, and a yellow one. They have this like desert patina. They were just sitting out the pasture to rot away, and that was the end of their life. Well, Duke had one that was the exact same year. He needed some parts that were difficult to find. I said, well, guess what? I have these ones out in the desert. I'll just throw it in my truck and bring it to you. But I'm gonna give it to you, or I don't remember if I sold it for very little. It was a long time ago now. I said, it's really for parts. I don't know what the registration status is. And he came back to me and says, you know, I really gotta get this thing going. I wanna have it on the street. And first of all, we got the stock motor going. Eventually the motor ended up with a knock in it. I don't remember if it got water or if it just beat to the end of its life or whatever. Motor had a knock on it. And then I said, it's not really worth rebuilding the motor. We could, I think we looked into it. But he said, how about we hot rod one? I've never put like a different motor in it. So this has got a lift-in motor, which is actually a Chinese motor. These Hondas all use the very universal design where they just bolted 2 spots into this stamped steel frame. Just like a Vespa, they got a stamped steel frame for the most part, little plastic leg shields. These things are typically 3-speed. They call it a semi-auto. It's really a manual transmission with the clutch that is built into the shifter. So they have a heel-toe shifter typically, no clutch lever. And you got to be real tricky with your left foot on getting both the shift down and the clutch. And once you get used to them, they're pretty incredible to ride. But if you've never ridden one of these things, they can be the clunkiest thing ever. They're incredibly fast, even in their stock form. The 70cc models go over 50 miles an hour. I can tell you a Vespa 90 or a Vespa 50 of the period couldn't even do those kind of speeds. But this one's hopped up. I think it's got 140 cc's engine. It's got a 4-speed transmission. Got a little pipe on it. Just kind of rat rotted out. But I'll start it up. Sounds pretty cool. And if I recall, this scooter will now peg the speedometer. It does about 60 miles an hour, if I recall. He just brought it in for a rear tire. I thought I'd share it with you guys. The #1 selling two-wheeler of all times, you have it right here, the Honda Cub, or commonly referred to as a C70. They got a lot of other names, but it's just this general configuration. It's been copied by many different companies throughout the world, mostly in China. Nowadays, you can find many knockoffs or copies of this classic. I don't know if you want to call it a motorcycle, a scooter, or a moped. Really doesn't have a definition. It's just a Honda Cub. Hope you liked it. Until next time, this is Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. If you're in the market for a Vespa, check us out. Vespa Motorsport. If you're looking for parts for Vespa, sorry, I don't really have any parts for this bad boy. ScooterWest.com. And if you just stumbled across this channel and you're a Honda nut, maybe you need to check out the world of Vespa. Subscribe to our channel. Check out all my Vespa videos. I cover the vintage ones and the modern ones. Thanks again for watching.